Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck. Now, today I had a hankering for some soup. It's chilly out, it's winter, we have a few months to go before it starts to get warm out there again, and I wanted to make a soup, one of my favorite soups in the world, that's not only super rich in flavor, but it's also on the lighter side. Yeah, it's actually quite a light soup, and you're gonna see how easy it is to make. Such few ingredients, and the flavor payoff truly is wonderful. So do you ever go to a Japanese steakhouse for hibachi, and when they usually serve you, the first thing they bring out is that complimentary soup, that like clear soup with the mushrooms floating on top and the scallions and maybe a little bit of the crispy onions in there? It's either that or that salad with the amazing ginger dressing. Either way, one comes up before the other or sometimes at the same time. I digress. We are going to make that most amazing soup today. And it doesn't really have an official name to it, I don't know, does it really? But I'm gonna be calling it Japanese Steakhouse Onion Soup because we use a lot of onions in there to give it that flavor. But don't worry, there's not gonna be a lot of onions floating around in there. It's mostly just broth. It's almost like a clear broth or a little bit of a darker broth. You'll see for yourself. And guys, it's so easy, it's so delicious. We're gonna go right to the Instant Pot and very, very simply make some amazing Japanese Steakhouse onion soup. Let's do it. First I want to take a medium-sized yellow onion, or you could use 2 small ones, and then slice it into quarter wedge pieces like this, and then separate each little inner layer of onion from the other, so it's like that. Alright? I want to take 3 cloves of garlic and smash them, and I can do that really using the flat side of a knife and just press down the cloves. We'll take a large carrot, and then we'll peel it and we'll chop it into chunks about this size, nothing fancy. And I want to take about a 2 to 3 inch piece of ginger and then peel that and then just also roughly chop that up as well, just like that. Alright, so we've got our onion, garlic, carrot, and ginger. Perfect. Let's move on. Now I'm going to go to the Instant Pot and I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. You can add any kind of sesame oil you want, toasted or not. And let's give that some heat. So let's hit the saute button and make sure we're on the more or high setting. And after about 3 minutes of our oil heating, we're going to add in all of our veggies we just prepped. And we're going to saute that in the sesame oil for about 8 to 10 minutes until everything becomes a bit browned and softened and releases all of its fragrant flavors. Alright, and after about 8 to 10 minutes of sauteing the veggies in the sesame oil, it's going to smell amazing and you're going to see some charredness on some of them. Some nice burnt edges, that's what we want. Guys, it's important to note to not skip this step. This is super critical to releasing a lot of the flavor that goes into the soup. So definitely do it. And then just let it set for a while and then give it a stir every so often. Don't worry about the bottom of the pot, that's fine. It'll all come up. Alright, so now we have one of 2 options. We can either leave our veggies in the pot as is and pour our broth in, or what I like to do, because this is going to save time afterwards and prevent us from having to strain it, get a steamer basket that will fit inside your Instant Pot. I'll link this in the recipe. Get a spoon and add all the vegetables to the steamer basket. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to discard the vegetables after it's done cooking. Alright, and really try to get every last veggie out of the pot. That took me maybe 25 seconds to do. Alright, now you see the brownness in the bottom? Don't worry about that, that's all about to change. I'm going to put my steamer basket right into the pot. You see that it fits perfectly. And now I'm going to add in 2 cups of broth each of chicken broth, beef broth, and you can use a vegetable broth, but I'm using onion broth. Yes, that exists. So it's 2 of each, and I'm adding that all to the pot, pouring it right over our veggies that are in the steamer basket. And you're going to see the steamer basket is going to come in really handy when we're done pressure cooking because we're just going to simply lift it out when we're done. In the meantime, it's going to infuse all that flavor inside of our broth, and that's where everything comes from here. Alright, so I'm going to secure my lid, make sure that the valve is in the sealing position. Now we'll hit the cancel or the keep warm / cancel button depending on your model, and we want to hit the pressure cook or manual button depending on your model. We want to go for 15 minutes at high pressure. You adjust using the plus and minus buttons there, or if you have a knob, you turn the knob. Also, if you have a knob model, you're going to hit a start button. But if you don't have a start button on your model, it'll automatically start after a few seconds of doing nothing. And now that we're done, we're going to finish with a quick release. And the pin just dropped, so we're going to take the lid off. And now I'm going to take my steamer basket and I'm going to remove it from my pot. This is what comes in super handy versus having to strain the pot. It's already done for me. Just pull it out, and there's my soup. And by the way, you can discard these vegetables or you can save them for whatever you wish to use them for. You can chop them up and add them back to the soup, but that's not typically how it's served. It's usually more of a clear soup. Alright guys, and our final touches are going to be 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt and a teaspoon of onion powder. Now you can use less or more seasoned salt if you wish. Do it to taste. If you want a little bit less in there, start with less and add more. And I'm just gonna stir that all up in there. And then guys, there we have it, our Japanese steakhouse onion soup. Now let's serve it up. All right, and I'm gonna ladle some into a bowl. Isn't this a pretty bowl? I love this bowl. And now I'm gonna top this as they traditionally would in a Japanese steakhouse with some very thinly sliced mushrooms, just some white ones. And another thing that this soup is usually finished off with, which I love, are some of those crispy fried onions. Just add a few of those on top. And it's the kind you'd get in the market. And voila, there we have it. Japanese steakhouse onion soup. Don't forget that fancy schmancy spoon. All right, let's try this out. Okay guys, and there it is. My Japanese steakhouse onion soup. Let's give it a try. I want a mushroom in there, and the onion and the scallion. I want everything. Wow. Okay, first off, it's an incredibly simple soup, but yet it's so richly satisfying in flavor, and it's also healthy. It's on the healthier side. I mean, if you want to put those French fried onions on the top at the end, that's up to you. But just a few is not going to hurt you. There's such a deep, rich flavor in something so simple. And really, the majority of that comes from all those vegetables that we sauteed in the sesame oil in the very beginning. I love the scallions on top, I love the mushrooms in there. Everything about it just comes together so beautifully. Look at this. Just look at this. So good. It's comforting, and it's really lovely, honestly, to have this, even if you just wanted to sip it out of a mug. Or if you wanted to just have it like as an appetizer before a meal, it's the perfect thing because it's not going to fill you up too much. And if you were ever feeling under the weather, I feel like this soup is a wonderful, wonderful fix. It just gives you this sense of comfort and pleasure and flavor. So delicious. Guys, if you enjoy this recipe, check out my website at pressureluckcooking.com because I have a slew of recipes there. Share it out. I mean, when good things come your way, you want to share them, right? Share the wealth. Check out facebook.com/pressureluckcooking and like that page for anytime any new recipes come out, such as this one, so you can, share them away with people and get excited about them. And of course, at Pressure Luck Cooking on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe to me there as well. All these videos live there. Thank you so much, guys. And you know what? I wanted some Japanese steakhouse onion soup, and by golly, I got it. Enjoy.